So I've been talking to this girl, right? And we're gonna call her Annie.
All right, Anne.
And yeah,
Angela.
Annie. Wait, what?
I have no clue. I'm just gonna keep on coming up with fake names as I
Yeah.
go.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's her name, right? Like that's what we determined. Do you remember her name?
Oh,
I don't remember her name. But yeah, we'll call her Annie, right? And like, I don't know. Flip has been asking me about this whole Annie situation.
okay.
And so I'm just gonna go ahead and just talk about it. But you know,
That works.
It's Annie. Yeah. So Annie, like, I'm not really feeling it anymore, and like, I haven't really been inviting her to things, you know, recently. Like, you know, like we haven't been up there, like, right?
Well, you haven't been up either. It's not.
No, but yeah, but I have been up without her though.
Not lately. I mean, like the last time I saw you was also the last time I saw her.
What?
Yeah. Well, 2 weekends, but yeah,
Whatever.
you haven't come up because
Okay.
last weekend was Memorial Day.
So, but I haven't been like doing things with, like, I haven't been inviting her to things, right? I've
Yeah.
kind of been going radio silent. And I've been noticing that she's like playing some games, right? Like the very, you know how I don't put up with that, but like she's definitely been playing some games. Like she'll send me like snaps of her with like other dudes, or like she'll find excuses to send me screenshots of like her Snapchat. Like at the top, she wants me to see these guys she's talking to, and it's just like, dude, come on, man. Don't, like, this is,
Come on, man.
this is rough, even for you, Annie. I was thinking to myself recently, you know, like, I think she's cool. I like her taste in music. I think she's fun. However, what value is she offering, like, my life?
So,
You know? And like, I don't mean this in
do
an
you want the
arrogant
dad
way.
advice, or do you want the
Well, first, just let me
supportive friend?
let me clarify to like the peeps, you know, the squad. What I mean by that is I am a firm believer that like it's always a give and a take. It's never a take and a take. Like when you're in a relationship, you have to bring something to the table, period. Like both people need to be contributing, obviously, right? And I know how I contribute, and you know, I definitely am. I don't know, like I'm a very social person. Like I bring a good community to the table. Like my friends are all super awesome, and we have a great friend group, and I bring that all to the table, and I'm social, and like, you know, I don't know, like I'm not like, this isn't about my pros, but like I know I have value to add. But then I found myself asking this question, like, what is she offering me? You know, like she never has like any super insightful conversations. Like I'm always talking. She never is, you know? And I don't know, I like people who can, you know, take leads socially, which she doesn't do. So, I don't know, man. But what was the advice you were gonna give? Like, what were you gonna say?
I have two kinds of advice for you. The simple one is the one I agree with. If you're not feeling it, if you feel that someone is mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, or intellectually below or even above you to certain extents, that you are better off for your own well-being just not worrying about it and moving on.
Right. Which is kind of like where I've kind of been. My headspace has kind of been there recently.
The dad answer, the boomer answer that I got for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
Because yeah, it's definitely a boomer answer. Is a man's job.
Oh my god, dude! Do not go off. Do not, dude. Okay, I see where this is going.
Exactly.
No,
and
please.
That's kind of my big point.
All right, first of all, okay, but even if we were to have like a super old view of this, like she still isn't offering like, I don't know, man. Like
this goes to my old gripe for the modern woman, and you've heard it 100 times. They expect a traditional man, good looking, works with their hands, fit, and able to provide.
Well, I mean,
but most women aren't traditional in the way that, you know, men would be looking for a traditional woman. And so the give and take is no longer there. So you have to either choose to take an L on that section, or be doomed to wait until society changes.
All right, but before we continue, like, I need to clarify, like, everyone's views are skewed, right? Like, it's not just like,
yeah, that's fair.
It's not just like women being difficult for men. Oh no, trust me, I know men are just absolute goons too.
Men are definitely difficult for women too.
Yes, I've seen like what my friends, like my friends that are girls, have to deal with, and I'm like, I'm sorry that you have to deal with. Like, yeah.
Well,
but
no,
it's like, it's just still, it's like you have to be on equal footing, and I find myself, like, not being an hold on, knockoff. What did we learn?
And I think Umbra has a much stronger point than anything I'm going to make, is what is the romantic value? Like, because there is a certain amount of like established emotional bond that you might have with someone, and is that something you want to nurture, or is it something you're willing to lose and give up?
Okay, I see what you mean.
And keep in mind, I'm potentially interpreting what Umbra is saying.
I don't want to speak for Umbra, but I definitely know what you're saying. I know what you're conveying. And I agree. Like, there's definitely value to be had just out of the relationship in general, right? Like, there's definitely value in just having a connection with somebody, and having that interaction to where you can have a relationship to where you feel comfortable with each other and like talk about things. But Annie definitely just, I'm convinced she doesn't know who she is or what she wants, which is totally fair. It's totally fair. A lot of people, yes. But like, I feel like I'm at a point where I know where I want my life to be heading, and I don't know. And the fact that she's like playing games now tells me enough that I need to know. You see what I'm saying?
I think,
like, just come out and say it. Like, that's the thing, is like, I want somebody who is going to be a good communicator. She would literally just come to me and say what's on her mind, rather than having me read it. Like, that's not what I'm looking for, because anytime that I'm expected to read someone's mind, we're gonna have problems, because one, I'm a busy dude. I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm probably not gonna be paying attention 24/7. Two, I am kind of oblivious to those sort of things, right? Like, I'm a guy. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it happens. But it's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna read any minds, and that right there,
not even reading the minds,
tells me
men tend to be like very emotionally oblivious, very emotionally unaware, like emotionally direct even, and it's a big turnoff for a lot of women.
I don't know, for any like women in chat, like, if you're still there, like, I don't know, tell me your thoughts on like directness. I don't know, because I am a direct person. I respect people who are direct, because I like that. I think it's a good communication thing. I understand that not everybody's direct, so some people just hate being direct, and that's totally fine. But I feel like when we're talking about a relationship, or when you are, seeking potential relationship with X person, it is important to, be very direct and get your intentions out there, which is what I did from the get-go with Annie. So, I don't know. Like, I kind of threw that out there, and I made it clear, like, hey, I would be interested in a relationship with you. However, I know that you've gone through some shit recently, and you might need some time, which is okay. But I'm not going to sit around and wait for you. Like, my life moves on. So
I'll play a really shitty violin solo.
Is your mic gonna even pick this up?
Maybe.
Yeah, all right. Let's hear it. Let me catch up with chat while you do this.
There we go.
Yo,
shittiest violin solo.
Clap that up, chat. Clap that up.
But yeah, no, I'd say that Tinder has definitely ruined dating in the way that like we would prefer it.
God, dude, Tinder.
Because you and I have both had conversations about like how we would prefer dating, and Tinder unfortunately has allowed women and even men to be less direct about their relationships and less forward with their intentions and emotions, to the point where like it's basically a job interview, and like now you have to weigh the benefits and the pay
and all this other
shit with the relationship, and it's absolutely fucking disgusting, which is why I'm not on Tinder. I'm not on Bumble. I prefer to meet people in person, because, well, partially it's because I don't look good for Tinder.
Yeah, well, okay, So, Sage, it's not that Tinder is a bad dating app. It's that dating apps in general have kind of just destroyed the dating
apps
scene.
In general are bad.
Yeah, like they have made it really difficult to establish real and actual connections with people. Because here's the thing, right? Like when you go on Tinder or whatever dating app, like depending on who you are, you might get hella matches, right? You might get a shit ton. And like, okay, that's good. It validates you. It's good for the self-esteem, whatever. I've been there.
For you.
You know, like I definitely have it for some similar reasons that I've had it before.
Recent studies from Pew and otherwise have revealed that the average age women are dating and matching with on Tinder and Bumble is 30 to 35 when they are college aged because they have money. So Tinder and Bumble are literal gold digging apps.
Well, they're just really, really shallow, which obviously it's pictures, you swipe right, you swipe left. However, the reason this is bad, right, is because when you have so many people, like what does a match even mean, right? Like you swipe right because you think they're attractive upon first glance physically, and you do that, and then you keep moving on because it becomes more about like the validation on like seeing like who's attracted to you back or whatever. And it becomes less about having an actual connection with somebody because you have so many options, right? Like when you swipe right and suddenly you have like, 30 people that you could message, like how are you going to actually have a real conversation with just any of them? You're going to get messages from a lot of people. So you might talk to somebody for about 5 minutes. Boom, someone new messages you, you're talking to them instead. The other person gets ghosted, right? You stick with this person for like, oh no, maybe they're a little more interesting. Maybe they don't send you a text that says, hey. Maybe they say something actually kind of insightful, kind of cool. You give them 10 minutes, right? You give them 10 minutes and you're kind of getting into it. Boom, though, here comes someone else. This person's a total chat, right? They look like Ashton Kutcher. They give that guy 30 minutes, right? Like it's just the chain just goes on and on and on. Also, thank you, Shank. I would swipe right on you too. But that yeah, that's for another time. Anyway,
it's the economy of effort, and unfortunately, for a lot of people, it's not worth the time and the effort to produce a relationship anymore.
I don't know why it's so hard to find like. Like, and again, like this is, I'm not even talking about just one specific gender, like just people in general. Like it's really hard to find. It's really hard to find people who to like have like a real connection with these days.
And we had this conversation about like how people just don't know how to connect anymore because of the modern world.
Yes, yeah. Like, Flippy and I have talked about this a lot. It's
more than just women now, Umbra. Like, how often do you encounter someone in your like professional or personal life? You talk to them, it turns out they don't really have a group of friends or even a group of people they consider themselves close to. And so you're like one of their first people they might be talking to for a while actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's
more often than not, we've encountered guys who like they'll have one or two close friends, but they don't have a group of friends. They don't have a crowd that they go out eat dinner with every week or go drinking with or otherwise. Whereas we're the exact opposite. I can't go to a restaurant anymore without calling ahead and being like, hey, I've got a group of X amount of people. Just because I told people in the morning, hey, I want to go eat here, who all is down.
Which is, I mean, he in the tone he said it, he's like, he sounds annoyed, but it's such a blessing, dude. Like we honestly are
100%.
super blessed with our friend group. Like, I don't know. Also, hello, Maddie. Welcome.
It is a blessing and a curse because, like, I used to be able to just go off and do something, and like I might get 2 or 3 people on board, and you can just show up and like sit down and eat with that many. But then now I literally have to call an hour ahead every single time I want to eat somewhere, and I just give them a range of people showing up.
But yeah, the point is though, is like I forgot that that's weird. Like that's actually weird for people. Like a lot of people don't have friend groups like that, or they don't have like enough connections or real true friends in their life that at any moment there's a group of them going out and doing whatever. Like I love that. I love our friend group so much. Like literally anytime I travel up to Flippy's, I know we're gonna be doing stuff. I know there's gonna be like 10 to 12 of us at least going out, eating, going mini golfing, bowling, whatever it is. Like we have a lot of friends in the group, and I love that. But it's so crazy because anytime I'm not with them or I'm in a new place, when I'm trying to meet people, like, people are just so dull, man. And I'm like, it's no wonder they're not making connections, because people just don't, like, they don't talk about interesting things. Every conversation's cookie cutter. It's like, how are you? Oh, good. Or like, oh, it could be better, but whatever. It's like simple, shallow, basic stuff. Nobody's really, you know, like, I don't know. It's just like, you have to give a reason why someone would want to talk to you instead of someone else. Like, you know, it's like, just be interesting. Like, have conversations.
The reason why I haven't been streaming a whole lot, and honestly, when Austin was streaming a whole lot, he texted me about this, and I was like, he asked me like, hey dude, I saw you haven't been streaming like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, dude, I have too much of a personal life right now. And you got pissed at me because you thought I was taking shots at you.
Well, I mean, looking
it definitely
back,
was
like,
misread.
I was I mean, you weren't wrong though. Like, I definitely didn't have a social life at the time, but that's why I took a step back and assessed my life and reprioritized. So, I mean, you weren't incorrect.
And I wasn't even taking shots at you. It was just like,
no, yeah, I didn't take it personal or anything. Maybe I got butthurt at the time, but that was also a while ago. It's like, whatever, dude. I don't care anymore. But I was obviously also in a different place back then. Yo, what's up, E-Man?
Emotionally and mentally, I think, is like the case for a lot of us.
Yeah.
People change quite a bit over the course of a year, I think. It's just a matter of changing your reference point.
By the way, I mean, like, I am reading the chats. I just don't always read them all aloud, just because.
Yeah, and we kind of got into that long form kind of bitching, griping, and talking about.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it
in society.
I like these kind of conversations because I think that, well, they add value. Like, these types of conversations add value. Like, these are the types of conversations that if someone were having in public, I would go try and join and, like, introduce myself, because I would immediately be interested. I would immediately feel like I could add to the conversation. And also, I would feel like I could literally talk about anything with them and they would hear me out. You know, like, they're not closed-minded. They're keeping it real. So, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, chat, but I like kind of the podcast form of stream. I mean, I could rant about a lot of things, but yeah. Let's go body per ugly after this. I mean, I'm just glad, like, if you guys can relate to the things we're saying, that makes me happy, you know? Because I know a lot of people go through this and, you know, they might not have they might be in hard... Like, I mean, it's not easy for people to meet new friends. Like, that's the thing, right? Where do you meet people? Like, where do you guys go if you want to meet somebody? You know, it's really hard because a lot of people...
Start going back to church.
Yeah, a lot of people meet peers at work. You know, like, that's how the common individual, I would say, probably meets new peers. But
Let's go, Shelly.
That's not always great, you know? That's not always great. Because a lot of times, like, people, you know, they might have opinions of you based on, you know, work in general. But it's all about, like, finding people at the right places. Sorry, oh my God, my cats are dying.
Your mic is going in and out.
Yeah, I had to turn around. Also, welcome back, Shelly. Shelly, we're talking about we're basically we're ranting about relationships and how society has kind of, like, made relationships pretty whack, and, like, you know, I'm just talking about how Flip and I, like, we're really blessed to have, like, a really big friend group, but we've realized from, you know, talking to other people that that's not super common. Like, a lot of people don't meet a lot of like-minded individuals that they can.
Well, I wouldn't say we're all like-minded in our friend group either.
Well, not necessarily. No.
I think there's just a certain amount of, like, personality mesh and, like, a mutual desire not to be alone is a large part of, like, being friends with someone. And then, of course, just enjoying doing similar things. Because, like, even within our friend group, there's certain members that don't necessarily enjoy doing the same things as others, and so they're not necessarily as close. But we still find time to, like, make time for each other.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's what I love about... Because there's compromise, right? Like, it's people make compromises for the ones they care about, you know? So it's like, we don't all love doing the same stuff, but, I mean, if we don't, then we hear each other out for the most part. And that's just good communication, you know? Like, that's just being a good person.
I mean, a good example is I don't like going disc golfing nearly as much as everyone else, but I'm more than happy to just go out to the course, hang out,
Right.
and, chill while everyone plays.
Yeah, and see, like, that's something, like, I'm going to work on because they have been disc golfing a lot, and I haven't went, but I talked to, Kev the other day, and I told him I would go. I'm going to go. It's not my thing. I don't love it, but I am going to go. I should have just used quick attack. What am I doing?
Turned
But yeah,
away and won.
Sonar, if you want, you can DM me in, like, Discord or something if it's, like, super long or personal or whatever. I'm just glad that you can speak up here. You can tell your story. We keep it pretty open here. I mean, obviously, if it's like something super dark or fucked up, like mods might have to like get rid of that shit. But no, you can talk and chat, guys. Like, it's an open environment. We talk about real shit here. At least we try to. It's not all just me getting destroyed.
I'll just respond to that once there's a lull. No, you keep going. I saw what Umbra said.
Oh.
Yeah, put it in the chat. In the case of Reese, Umbra's latest message, yeah, no, honestly, having a good group of friends is where you can get like a lot of the stories that like Austin and I tell, honestly, because that was part of the conversation. Was like we had such a good group of friends that we can start telling some of the stories that we thought were really funny.
Yeah,
that we've gone and done. And yeah, some of my stories are just military stories I did alone, but it was still with a good troop of friends that like I had for a very long time, and we did have memories.
Right.
You might have to repost. I'm scrolling up.
Yeah, I don't see it, Sonar. I don't see your message because I checked before I said all
Story.
that.
Wait, Tinder is a bet. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So maybe trying to repost. Separate it into a few different words, maybe. Because normally, like, if it's a mod, if it wasn't allowed, it would have just like let the mods and the streamer know.
You can do either, Sonar. You can DM me on Discord if you'd like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I see Umbra talk about like how it's hard to like he like struggles to like have connection with people in person because of his online presence, and I totally feel that. Like that was me really like to the extreme last year, right? Like last year when my channel kind of started taking off a little bit when I was doing the Terraria streams, like I was so I don't know, I was so obsessed with the idea of success. Because that's just who I am as a person, right? Like when I see something I want, I go all in. Like all my eggs are going in one basket. Like I go all in, right? And I had plans, like big plans.
How many stacks of growl do you have right now, though? Sorry, focusing more on the game real quick.
Stacks of what?
How many stacks of growl has Per Ugly put on you? I guess it doesn't really matter. You're doing a good amount of damage regardless.
Yeah, I should kill in 2 more hits if this might kill.
Wow, speed fell again. You might outspeed it now.
Nope, not yet.
Dang.
It's a fast lad. Hey, we got it. No L to Prugly this time, lads.
Let's go. Anyway, go back to what you were saying.
But yeah, so like last year, I was really like I got a taste of like my channel was growing pretty rapidly on Twitch. Like I was super excited. I was doing Terraria content. And then one day my gaming PC that I spent a lot of money on shot itself. And it had a lot of problems. It would blue screen, and I just could never figure out what it was. So I wasn't able to stream Terraria anymore. And like, yeah, I definitely lost numbers, and I got really depressed for a while. But then I took a step back, and I was like, that's not what matters. Like, yes, it would be nice to do content creation full time, but in the grand scheme of things, like I look back at it, and I'm so glad it happened because one, it made me have to take a step back and reassess my life and reprioritize things and be like, oh shit, like I'm actually really, really struggling with, like X thing, like being social, like my relationships, like I haven't been playing like shows, I've been doing music, like I needed something to happen to disrupt my current lifestyle so I would see all the areas of my life that I was kind of neglecting. And I'm glad it happened looking back because I got everything back in check. I've been spending a lot of time with people, I've been traveling, I've been doing music, like I'm just vibing, dude. And that's the difference between me now and then.